dezrocksteady at King of the Pit TV.
Yes, now bless. Now let me reposition the tingling. I just listened to Testament, The Legacy, the debut album, alright? These are my final thoughts, yes. These are my final thoughts, my people. So, we listened to it track by track. I did a track by track review on this channel. If you would like to view that, okay. I've got an itchy eye, alright. Oh, jeez, I got smoke in my eye, people. Don't get too emotional. It was an alright record. It was an alright record. It was well produced. It was nice to hear a more modernised thrash metal. And when I say modern, it's still an 80s record, but it makes a change from the graininess of the production value that was on these earlier 80s records. And I'm not speaking the big four, I'm speaking the bands that sort of started to develop album through album and created something of a momentum as they continued putting out music. Not these like one of a kind blow up first record signed by a major label bands. Testament came out in what? Well, I don't know when Testament came out, but this record came out in 87. This is their debut LP, and to hear something come out in 87 past Master of Puppets, past Rain in Blood, past all the heavy hitters. I'm not going to list them because who cares? You know them better than me. Seriously, if you're watching this review, you know these albums better than me. It was nice to hear something a little later in the time frame. Second wave thrash metal, alright? Now, I've seen comments of people saying this was like the 5th biggest band in thrash. Would you say it was the 5th in comparison to the Big Four? Is that what they're trying to say? It's the 5th member? Testament? This record was good, but it was not special. Okay? So I'm going to jump in with a critique because as far as selling points are concerned, it was very generalised thrash metal. We call it second wave, so I was expecting a change of the norm. There wasn't necessarily much change. If anything, it was lesser unique than some of the thrash bands of an earlier era we've listened to on this channel. Thing is, they were good. They were very talented. They're probably still going. They are incredibly talented. The guitar solos are incredible. If you're a guitarist and you enjoy lead guitar, you're going to have a hell of a time listening to this. Rhythm guitars, I think the rhythm's sort of hit or miss. For somebody like me who likes a bit of a groove, as opposed to just, metal guitar riffs, I like a bit more of a groove to it. So rhythmically speaking, there's points to be gained. The production value was very good, and I think that's what gave this an edge over, its predecessors. A little more value on the sound engineering and a little more education and information on thrash metal in 87. You know what I mean? With all of the bands that had come and gone before then, I think it really did the band some favour to put their LP out at this time. So it sounds very polished, sounds very well made. It's very tight, there's no odd ornamentation or accidental happenings in the recording. It's all very perfect. Vocals were good. Lyrically speaking, sounded pretty good from what I heard. I didn't really pay too much attention. I feel this band did fast the best, but didn't do it enough, Tremolo picking. Bit more of that. I felt this band was better in that because the mid-tempo riffs weren't hitting the way I wanted them to hit. I couldn't mosh. A bit too much technicality, a bit too much stopping and starting, a bit too much stuttering. I know that we've got a long way to go into Testament's discography and there's going to be some incredible material. So it's not that I'm being judgmental here. I do know the greatness of the band just by indirect, acknowledgement of this brand, so to speak. I know that they're a good band, and this debut definitely showcases it, but it's nothing new. It's definitely nothing new. And I'm not saying that as in I'm in 2024 talking about it being nothing new. I mean, as far as being in the later 80s, to me, this was nothing new. Second Wave should have added a little more pizzazz. It just quite simply added a little more production value. That's what I found. I'm not too fussed on extra guitar solos. I want to hear a good rhythm guitar. And I think that's sort of where I lost it. And the drummer's choice of rhythms and beats, it didn't suit my personal taste. I spoke of when I was listening to this record. It's a metal band. It's a metal band, as opposed to some of the more crossover-esque acts that were creeping out during this period. Some fantastic bands. I mean, we listened to Violence, and I was very happy with the riffing going on. This band strayed from that stuff, just stuck with the metal, and I got a rating for that, but it didn't tickle my pickle, that's for sure. I'm going to rate this record a 4 out of 10. There's room for improvement, you know. I'm thinking, judging by this and how well they put this record together and how good the production was, I'd be surprised if Testament surpass a ceiling of 6 out of 10 throughout their discography, in my personal opinion, from hearing this, because I don't really know how they can develop further without getting a new writer involved who starts writing riffs in the realms of, you know, crossover. That's my personal opinion. That's who I am and what I like, and I didn't necessarily get too much of it from this record. Aside from that, 9 tracks, an adequate album length. That was pleasing. It didn't outstay its welcome whatsoever, and it was a substantial amount of material. It wasn't incredibly short. I'm signing out on that one. Peace, people.